Alright, so I'm going to show you today. I'm going to replace the slide out canvas on my RV. This is a 2003 Georgetown. And what I have, kind of go through what I've got. I'm going to probably do this in a couple of different videos. So let's start with this one. I'll just go with what I got. Right, I have, it's a 200-inch run of canvas, so it's just a generic 200-inch run, and I ordered that online. Right? I got that on eBay. And then tools wise, I have a pin, because I'm going to need that, and I'll show you later on how I use that to be able to hold the roller out. Okay, I have a magic marker because I'm going to use that to mark the canvas when I cut it. And I also have a T-square. Okay, usually you use that for sheetrock. And I have a flat piece of board and a giant flathead screwdriver. Okay, and that's basically what I'm going to use to do this job, and a ladder. Now, later on in the video, I'll have help because this is kind of a two-man gig, right? Two-person thing. But for now, I'll walk you through what I'm going to do, and then I'll actually capture some video of me doing it. So this is the old canvas, and as you can see, it's starting to cup in the middle there. So what it does is it just collects a bunch of water, and I'd rather that it doesn't do that. And I already replaced the canvases on the other side, so I want them all to be nice and new. And the other ones were cracked and fraying up. So this one's actually intact. It's just it catches a lot of water during the rain. So you can see before I even owned it, somebody else replaced the canvas here before. And I'm going to follow the same process that they did, being that it's already done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this channel here so I can get the beading out that holds this in. So I'm just going to use that flathead screwdriver. I'm going to separate that channel, and I'm going to pull that out. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to roll this roller, this pin that's on the outside, and as you can see, I have it open, right? So I do this while it's open. And I'm going to roll this out, and in these valleys here, there's going to be an area where I'm going to stick that pin through here, and that's what's going to lock this roller in place so that it doesn't move anymore, so I can actually slide the canvases in. And basically the process is separate that channel, unwind this all the way, lock it in place with the pin. This whole thing gets pulled out and away from the camper, and all this meat will come out. And then what I'll do is I'll just measure this and cut the new piece of fabric, and I'll use the T-square to be able to get a nice straight line with the marker, and I have the fabric scissors down here. You could probably use a razor knife or something like that, but I have these heavy-duty shears, and I'll just cut it with that. Okay, that's what I have. That's my setup. That's my plan, and I'll be back with some more video. Okay, so here I am again. I got it all unwound. Pretty disgusting because it's got all kinds of slime and everything in there. Okay, but you can see it's all unwound, and now it's just being held in by the track over here. It takes a little bit of searching, but this is just a pin, you know, from like a holiday ornament that you put in your front yard, a blow up or something. And it goes right inside this hole, and there will be a little hole inside there where this will lock in so that this guy here doesn't unravel on you. A lot of videos will show that actually removing this in the whole 9 yards. I don't do that. I just unwind it, stick the pin in there so that it doesn't move. I now have access to be able to pull this guy out of this channel, and I have access to be able to pull this guy out of this channel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the other side, and that's where I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to separate it with a screwdriver over here, and over here it's just going to pull straight out. Now, sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually just cut this all the way along here into two separate pieces and just pull them out both separately instead of having to yank a little and yank a little and yank a little. I don't care. This is garbage. It's going in the garbage anyway. So sometimes I just cut it out, and that way it makes it easier to take it out. Okay, so I'm going to stop videoing here, and what I will do is I'm going to remove this all, and then I'll start videoing again when I show you everything removed. All right, so here I am on the side that I'm going to actually remove everything from, and you can see this guy just comes right out. And this guy here, he's stuck in here because of this channel that's in the way. And you can see where it's been pried open before. That's even before me. So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm just going to take this channel, I'm going to put a regular flathead screwdriver in here, and I'm just going to separate it a bit, just so that it's wide enough. I don't care about this canvas, so if it rips it a little while I'm doing this, I don't care. But what I want to do is I want to just open this up a bit so it's wide enough to be able to get this plastic beading out right here. This PVC beading. Okay? See that beading right there? So I'm going to pull that out of here. When I'm done, you'll never even see any of this. Right? So there it is, nice and pulled out, like that. Right? And this is where she all comes out. You just take this and pull it right on out of here. And that's out. Will all just pull right out, and then this guy is going to come right out of here. Yeah. Pull it right off and out of here. That is removal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up here before I put everything back together, because you don't really get easy access to this whole area. So I'm going to clean up here and everything. I'm going to check my gasket and make sure that this is all good, and if necessary I'll put new butyl tape or whatnot to keep that on. But I actually already went around and I checked them, so I'm just telling you that you might want to do it when you take this apart. Oh, and here's a piece of beading that got stuck in here. Oh, because it's all the way on the other end. So sometimes when they put this back together, this piece gets trapped on the other side so that it doesn't slide back. And I'll go over there and I'll take a quick video so I show you how I actually get this unattached, because this has got to come out. So this is that other side where the beading is stuck in this groove. It's because it's just over pulled in here. So I'm just going to give it a start with my finger, push it in there, so that way I can go to the other side and I can just pull it out. And usually it'll all come out in one piece anyway, and you don't need to really do it like this. Alright, so now that's a nice, clean, empty track. And so is this guy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some silicone grease in there, or silicone spray in there, some lube, so it goes in nice and clean. And that's how we're going to put a new one in. Alright, so next step is take that old one, use it as a measurement template. We're going to cut this new one now. I'll show you how I cut it, and then we're going to install it. And so here's the old one. I'm going to measure it out with a tape measure. It shows me she's about 153.5 inches. Now I did notice that it was a little long when it was up on the RV and it was installed. It was a little long initially. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to take a 1/2 inch off, and I'm going to make it 153 on the button. Okay, I got plenty of overlap and plenty of room to be able to work with. So I'm going to either do 153 or maybe 153 1/4, and I'm going to take like 1/4 of an inch off because it was a little long. All right. Okay. So here's the new piece, and as you can see, the new piece is a lot longer than the original one, right? The original one's 153 inches, and the new one is 200 inches. So it's quite a bit longer, and there's going to be quite a bit of piece of leftover. But when you roll this out, something I like to point out is, you see, there is a direction, even though that it might not ultimately matter, but there is a direction to the fabric. This is the top of the fabric, and if you look at the bottom here, you'll see a seam down here where it overlaps around this welting, and you end up with this seam on the bottom. So you want to make sure that that's on the bottom when you're cutting, okay, so that, because this is the thick welting, all right, and bead that comes through. This guy over here on this side, he's thinner, okay? So this side goes in the roller, and this side goes on the RV itself. So I want to make sure that that seam is on the bottom and not on the top. So I lay it out this way deliberately. This side I'm not going to cut. I'm going to cut that side, okay? And what you want to do is you do want to leave some of this beading left over as extra meat, because it's going to help hold it in the track. Not so important for the roller side, okay? I'm going to probably cut this guy pretty close after I stick it through. I'm going to almost cut this right off the edge, right on the end. But this side, that's going to remain in the RV. I do want this beading to come out beyond the fabric so it can help hold it up against the RV. Okay, so next step, I'm going to roll out the ruler and then lay out my T-square and mark my spot, and I'll cut the fabric, and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so there it is. Brand new canvas. See where the new bead comes through? Nice and tight. And now I'm just going to put it in and pull it out a few times. And happy day. Let's go take a look at this side real quick. See how this all came together. Alright, nice new canvas. That's it.